Hello and welcome to Going for Two, where we never kick the extra point. Last night, the NFL schedule for the upcoming season was revealed for every team, including especially the Dallas Cowboys. I think personally that the Cowboys got a pretty good schedule this season. They do have some tough games in there. Week 4, they got to go to New Orleans. They have to play the Patriots in Week 12 in Foxborough, and they have to go against the Bears on the road. However, they do get some comeback on that. They get to play the Packers at home and the Rams at home. What do you think of some of the Cowboys' schedule?
Well, I think you're right. It's a pretty good schedule. There are some, what I think are trap games for us, but I think we should come out pretty good.
I think I agree with that. Do you think we pull off the division sweep this season?
Well, I think here is where you and I will disagree. I think at this point that we don't sweep the division, although I think we do very well in it.
I think that the opportunity is certainly there for us. The only game we didn't win last season was the snap infraction game against the Washington Redskins. Dak Prescott seems to kind of have the number of this division. Ezekiel Elliott still hasn't lost a game to the Philadelphia Eagles. I think the division's weaker than last year. Alex Smith is going to miss a lot of time. The Giants have traded their best asset. Carson Wentz and the Eagles are the outlier, but I think we've been able to handle Wentz pretty well to this point. I think 6-0 is probable, but honestly, if we're going to lose one, the home Philly game scares me. We don't usually play our division particularly well at home for some reason, and that is one, if we're going to lose it, I could certainly see happening. Alright then, well let's get into a little bit of prediction for the record this season. Let's go game by game. Week 1, New York Giants at home. I think the Cowboys get the win.
The Giants always play us tough at home. I think this is our first loss. I'm afraid that we won't come out strong early, and so I think we lose that one. I got New York winning this one.
Now, I could kind of see that because Dallas historically has not been a very good opening week team, even in the best Romo years. However, I think that considering just how weak the Giants roster seems to be after the Beckham trade, that we can pick this one up. Week 2, we go to Washington to play against the Redskins. I think this is almost a guaranteed win.
I agree. I think Dallas beats Washington, sweeps Washington this year. I have Dallas winning this one.
Any chance Washington would have winning would maybe be in Week 17 if Ace Smitty can rush it back. But Week 2 with no quarterback on the horizon or a rookie quarterback, I think Dallas has got that one locked up. Week 3, the Cowboys play a home game against the new-look Miami Dolphins. I think this has got to be a win. Ryan Fitzpatrick is always a guy that can surprise you, but they're clearly going into a bit of a rebuild mode here. The roster is in flux. Dallas has a very talented team. We're playing at home. The Dolphins are beatable. I think that's a win.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I think Dallas wins this one.
All right, fair enough. I don't see how Dallas takes the loss on that one. Week 4, the Cowboys make their first appearance on Sunday Night Football. They play in New Orleans against the Saints, and I got to be honest, I think this is the first loss I have penciled in for the Cowboys.
Well, I agree. I am going to be a little more pessimistic on the schedule, I think, than you are, and I think this is one that we could lose. I think that being at New Orleans, maybe a little bit of revenge for them for last year when we stopped them cold. I have Dallas losing this one.
I agree with all of that. Sean Payton is a great motivator, and you give him an inch, he can take a mile. They have some actual motivation to work with, though. That loss on Thursday night where Dallas kind of embarrassed them on that win streak, held them to 10 points. It's going to be in their place Sunday night. It worries me, and that's why I have penciled in as our first loss. Up next, we have a classic battle in the midday game on Fox. Packers at Cowboys in AT&T Stadium. I think we start to kind of expunge that demon. I think I have the Cowboys winning this game in Week 5 against the Green Bay Packers.
I went back and forth on this one. At first I had the Packers winning it, but I think I'm going to give it to Dallas for no particular reason. I just don't think that Green Bay is where they need to be yet, and so I'll give Dallas the win here.
Yeah, you got a new head coach. Aaron hasn't played a full season in a couple of years now. He's going to be probably at least a little bit rusty. The Packers roster is very much in motion. The defense is better. And this is a different Cowboys team than Aaron has played. The defense is a lot better than the playoff game we lost a couple of years ago. And the O-line is still intact, and Prescott's only going to get better. So I think can see Dallas winning that game. Week 6 could be a very interesting game. Same midday slot. The Cowboys travel to MetLife Stadium to play at the New York Jets. Now, the Jets are a very different team than in years past. Le'Veon Bell is there now. C.J. Mosley, and of course Sam Darnold. The new uniforms. The Jets are clearly going into a new era here. However, I simply don't think they're quite there yet. I think the Cowboys are a playoff-ready team, and I think I have the Cowboys winning that ball game.
I agree. I think Dallas takes care of the Jets, no problem.
Yeah, I just don't think the Jets are ready yet. In week number 7, the Dallas Cowboys return to Sunday Night Football against the Philadelphia Eagles at home in AT&T Stadium. Now, this is a game that does concern me. The Cowboys and Eagles on Sunday night, they will always play each other in a close game. The past couple have gone to overtime by the same score of 29-23 in favor of the Cowboys. The Eagles will probably catch us on one of these eventually, but honestly, I think we have the better quarterback, and I think we have the better roster. So I think I'm going to pick the Dallas Cowboys to win this game over the Eagles.
I also have Dallas winning here. It concerns me a little bit with Philly's quarterback. I don't understand the coach calling him out like that. Maybe he's one of those players who doesn't perform unless he is publicly has something to prove. But I'm giving it to Dallas, even though I'm a little more pessimistic than you are.
I think it's certainly possible. Carson Wentz can't elevate his play. We saw that in 2017, but I'm just going to give that one to the Cowboys. So after the bye week, the Dallas Cowboys travel back to New York to take on the Giants on Monday night in New York. The Giants are a roster in flux. Dallas has traditionally performed better, it seems like, in their stadium than our own when we play them. The Cowboys win this game. I just think so.
I picked New York in the first matchup, but I think Dallas wins this one.
Yeah, like I said, the Giants aren't ready to do much of anything this year, I don't think, especially if Eli is still the quarterback. I think the Cowboys sweep them. Dallas once again returns to Sunday Night Football to take on the Minnesota Vikings at home. The Vikings are a roster that I think is very talented, probably top 5, top 10 in the entire NFL. However, Kirk Cousins has always had trouble with the Cowboys. The Cowboys have had his number his whole career, I feel like, and as good as the Vikings are, I'm going to give this one to Dallas.
You just never know about the Vikings lately. It seems like when you expect them to win, they lose. When you expect them to lose, they win. I'm giving this one to the Vikings. I think they're going to pull off the upset here.
The Vikings are a very good team. If they were to win this game, I wouldn't be thoroughly stunned. I just don't think that Kirk has a great track record against the Cowboys, and that's going to be the deciding factor for me against a Vikings team that can rise to the occasion. After this, the Cowboys return to the early time slot and travel to Ford Field to play the Detroit Lions. The Cowboys and Lions have played close games for years now. Every time they match up, you're going to have a close game. Even the game where Calvin Johnson had 300 yards, it was still decided by, I think, a point. Dallas, we got them last year. It was in our place. We're going back that way. I think we're better now, but I think they're better now, too. I'm just going to give the edge to the Cowboys here because I simply think we're still just a little bit better team.
I agree. I think the Lions are on the upswing. I think they're getting better, but I give Dallas the win here.
I have to. I do think Matthew Stafford is great, but I just think we still roster-wise have the edge. After this, Dallas travels to the Gillette Stadium, and plays against the New England Patriots in Foxborough, and I do have to say that I think I have the Cowboys losing this ball game. Tom is still there, Bill is still there. Need I say more?
The evil empire. Yes, I have Dallas losing this one also, just because of Belichick and Brady. I just think they probably win.
I think they get us. I'd love it if we beat them, but
yeah, me too.
I've given up on picking against the Patriots after 28-3, so... After this, the Cowboys return home for Thanksgiving Day against the Buffalo Bills. I'm a big Josh Allen guy. I do think that he could be a franchise quarterback and the Bills are going in the right direction. However, if you were to compare the rosters, it just wouldn't be fair to Buffalo. Dallas is the better football team, and we're going to win that football game.
I agree. I think Dallas wins this one. I like the Bills. I think they're doing everything they need to do to get better, but I have Dallas winning.
Buffalo, I am on the upswing. I'd love to see you guys do well. You're one of the teams I cheer for. It's just not your year, I don't think, yet. After this, the Cowboys once again play on Thursday night against the Chicago Bears in Soldier Field. Khalil Mack puts fear in me. The Cowboys have not played him since the trade, and now that Khalil's got the help of a great defense with him, they're going to be trouble. I think Prescott is a miles better than Mitch Trubisky, who I am not sold on, but on the road late in the season, this is one I'm going to give to the Chicago Bears.
I'm also going Bears here. I just think that at Soldier Field, it's going to be a tough game. I'm going to give the edge to the Bears.
Chicago's a good team. They didn't lose a game by more than 7 points last year. I mean, they're ready to win a championship too, I think, and they could get us in this game. I hope if we have to play them in the playoffs that we get to play it at our place. After this, we will see Dallas return home for the NFC Divisional Round rematch against the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are going to get a little bit worse no matter what this year because Ndamukong Suh's not coming back. We don't know if Todd Gurley's knee is going to be ready to run on. He's been seen limping a lot this offseason, just walking around. That's concerning. Dallas is going to have some momentum to work with here. They can play a revenge game, and I do actually have the Cowboys beating the Rams in this Week 15 matchup.
It's another one I went back and forth on. I think probably the Super Bowl hangover still affecting the Rams this year. I just see them taking a little step back. I have Dallas winning.
I can certainly see that. The Rams are still a good team, and they could beat us, but I think Dallas is in a good position, positionally wise, to win this game. After this, Dallas heads to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles for a late-season matchup. I think we sweep Philly this year. We've traditionally played better, I feel like, even in their stadium the past few seasons. I have the Cowboys winning this one.
I agree. I think we sweep the Eagles this year. I have Dallas winning.
And the Cowboys will be closing their regular season at home against the Washington Redskins 4 days after Christmas. And like I said, I don't think the Redskins are in a position to win very many games this season. I have the Cowboys winning.
I agree. I think Dallas wins this one handily.
Having gone through every game on the schedule, I've predicted the Cowboys to go 13-3 this season. I think the roster is Super Bowl ready. I think we've got a good enough quarterback. We clearly have a good enough running back. We've done 13-3 with this team before with a much worse defense. Those Patriots and Bears games are tough, and New Orleans, those 3 road games I have us losing. But overall, I think this could be Dallas's year. 13-3 is my record prediction. Strong run into the playoffs.
You said at the beginning the schedule sets up well for the Cowboys. I think it does too. There could be some games though that we just drop. That happens sometimes. So far, I've got the Cowboys at 11-5. Could be worse because I'm a pessimist, but we're hoping for better.
With this roster, I really do see that playoffs is not a guarantee, but it should be very doable with the run they've been given. And I do see the Cowboys make the playoffs this year, even if they don't do as well as I think they will. But those are just our thoughts on what the Cowboys will do this season. What do you guys think? Let us know down in the comments section. Subscribe to the channel if you have not yet to help keep it growing. This has been Going for Two, and remember, never kick the extra point.